Hey everybody, welcome to another video in our series on how to solve puzzle cubes. Today in this video we're going to be looking at the 5x5 Rubik's Cube, also known as the Professor's Cube. Now the cube I'm holding in my hands right now is the original branded cube by Rubik's company. If you're learning how to solve this cube for the first time and you're looking for which cube you should buy, I highly recommend that you do not buy this cube, because, as you can see here, it's very difficult to turn. Sometimes it locks in place, and it can be a little bit difficult unless it's lined up perfectly. So if you're learning how to solve the cube and you're using this thing, it's going to be extremely frustrating. We're not going to be using this cube for this video. Instead, we are going to be using the V cube. This is a different company. They specialize in higher order cubes up until, I think, the V Cube 8. They slide much better compared to the other 5x5 cubes out there. Now, before we go any further, I just wanted to mention, as usual, it's very important that if you're doing the 5x5 cube, you know how to solve the 4x4 cube and 3x3 cube. If you don't know how to solve these ones, this is going to be very difficult for you. So I have videos of these two cubes on my channel. Be sure to check those out and then come back here and we can do this together. So in order to solve this 5x5 cube, we're going to be using the same principles we've been using so far. You know, of course, this is a cube, so they're all the same shape, but this one has a 3x3 cube inside of it and a 4x4 cube inside of it. So in order to solve this 5x5 cube, we have to solve 3x3 and 4x4. The algorithms and steps that it takes to solve a 4x4 you will see in here, and the steps it's going to take to solve a 3x3 you will also see in this cube. So if we quickly just compare the 3x3 and the 4x4 to this cube, it's a mix of both of these into this one. So what that means is, since it's an odd number cube, the centers are not going to be moving. So that's good news for you if you don't know your colors yet. Now the bad news about the 5x5 cube is you will have parity issues with this cube. It's going to look slightly different, but it is solved in the same way as the 4x4 cube. So that's kind of a mix of good news and bad news. Bad news, problems of the 4x4 cube are here, but the good news is if you know how to solve them here, you can solve them here as well. And just a quick side note with the V cube, the colors will be opposing each other in the same way. It's just that instead of yellow face opposite white, it's yellow opposite black. So that's just a side note if you end up using the V cube like I'm using in this video. So with the higher order cubes, these videos are not going to be focusing so much on the notations of algorithms. We are going to be using algorithms. It's just that they're going to be masked because we're going to focus more on what piece is going where and how to get it there, as opposed to remembering that this is left capital L, or this is lowercase l. This would be lowercase l, or other notations like that, like down and down prime. We're not going to use those to solve this just because I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. I hope that will help you understand it better than if you were to memorize a list of algorithms, which people find confusing. The good news is, well, all the steps that you know for the 4x4 cube are found on this 5x5 cube. First, fixing our centers, then fixing our edges, and then fixing the corners. And of course our edges have an extra piece compared to the 4x4. What that means is there's going to be an extra step with the edge here, this extra layer. That's going to require one extra step, which is the one extra algorithm that I will be teaching you in this video. Now that all of that is out of the way, I think we can start to mix this cube up. So here we go. Okay, all done. Everything's good and mixed. Our first step is to choose a side to solve, and we're just going to solve the center outwards. So our center is fixed like we said before, but we need to solve the rest of the center, just like the 4x4 cube. So instead of just 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 total pieces here to fix with the centerpiece. First, this face, then the face behind it, and then we flip, and then we just go around. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, just like the 4x4 cube. I will be going a little bit faster than normal, just because by now with the 5x5 cube, you should know the basics already from the 4x4 and the 3x3. So I'm going to ignore these two for now. I'm going to start from scratch, okay? So I'm going to take this one, bring it over here, okay? Then I'm going to get this one out of the way because I don't want it there. Oh, look at that. Wow, lots of black. Get that out of the way too. I don't need that right now. So I have 1, 2 to start with. Okay, and now I'm going to go for 1 and 2 here, or 1 and 2 here. So whatever I find, I'll just work with. So I have 1 piece here, 1 piece here, up 2 pieces here. This would work. So let's see. I have these already lined up for me, but I want them on this side over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate so that they show up over here. Let's see if that works. Okay, that's great. But I can't just bring them right over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send them up, rotate them again, and then bring them down. So they got to get over here. I'm going to raise them up. So now they're up here. And I got to get them over here. So let's rotate once and then bring it down. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to repeat that process with another set. So we need a corner piece and we need a center piece, as opposed to a corner, right? So that would be like an edge. First, I'm going to look for a corner piece. Okay, corner piece here. I can actually use this one, and it'll be easier to bring this one to meet this one. So I'm going to rotate him where he belongs, which is right here. Okay. And then I'm going to bring him to meet him. 1, and then 2. Okay? So maybe this will fit where we need it to fit, but maybe it won't. So let's try. It's got to go, well, it can go here or it can go here. If I do this, it won't be here. So I can't put that here. If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and before we were looking at it like this, well, let's fix it. Let's turn it so that this can go there. So I'm going to turn this once, then I'm going to take this and just bring it down like before. Okay, now we have 1 layer done, 2 layer done, and now just the 3rd layer is last. So with the starting face, there aren't really many algorithms to look at here. It's just a case of logic. So if you know how to move the cube to get the pieces together, that's all you need to do. Do that in any way you see fit. I have to do 3 more here, so I'm just going to find a way to link the last 1, 2, 3 pieces over here somewhere, and then send it over here. So I don't want to fix them on this face. I'm going to fix them on this face or another face, like here, and then I'm going to bring them over. So I have 1 and 2 pieces already done. I need to find the centerpiece here, which is here, and I need to find a way to get them over here, get them together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because I have this black over here, I want to bring it downwards. That way I can twist like this and not interfere here. So I'm going to bring it downwards, okay, rotate it like this, and now they're almost lined up. Rotate one more time, okay. So now when I rotate this one up, they'll match. So 1, 2. Now I have this line done, and I have this line ready to go. All I need to do is rotate once and bring it down. And now your first face, your centerpiece, is solved. Now that we have our first centerpiece solved, we can move on to the yellow face, and in order to do that we're going to follow the same principles of the 4x4 cube, where we're going to be working with the top part of it, and we're going to have our solved face at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to do our best not to interfere with this one. We're going to, send things up, rotate away, and then bring back down. That's the same principle that we did with the 4x4. We're going to do the same thing here. So let's get our yellow pieces together. We have 1, 2 here, 1, 2 here, 1, 2, and then maybe this one. Okay, so I have 1, 2 already solved, and we have 1, 2 already solved. I want to get them off of the same face so I can start to work. So I'm going to bring that one away, okay? And I can actually send this one up here if I wanted to. So let's actually do that. So I just have to watch out for the black at the bottom. So I'm going to rotate it up. Black in the bottom is messed up, so I want to rotate once. Now that nothing yellow is here, I can bring it back down, and everything's fine. Okay, so I'm going to do that here. So I have the centerpiece solved. This is junk. Don't worry about it for now. In fact, I'm going to take it away so that it helps. So one, rotate, and then bring it back. Black is okay, and now just yellow is solved. So I'm going to solve 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and then bottom. We have 1, 2 already ready to go. Bring it down, rotate away, so now nothing's here, and then send it back down. Okay, so we have black here, 1 and 2 solved. We're going to solve 2 more. We have 1 corner piece here. We need another center piece to match with it, and we have one right here. So I'm going to bring it over. This one and this one should go together. So I have this piece in the wrong spot. I'm just going to rotate it so that this one is going to match with this one. So rotate, and now this one is matched. Great. And we're just going to bring it up here. Okay, so holding the black face at the bottom, just one more time, send it upwards, rotate to get it out of the way, and then bring everything back down, and we've solved 1 strip, 2 strip. We have 1 more strip to solve, which is this one. It's got to go over here. So I'm going to actually rotate it like this, so that this corner piece is going to match with this one. Turn it once, and now we have 1, 2, 3, and we got to send it up. So just remember, when you have everything solved here, most everything solved here, you don't want garbage here. You want a yellow piece over here. So we're going to sand it around so that a yellow piece lines up with this yellow piece. And try it again. Send it upwards, rotate away. Now we have the junk here. Then we bring it back down. And that is the first 2 faces, which is very similar to the way you solve the 4x4 cube. So for the sake of speed, I have the black one done, I have the yellow one done. The same process is going to be done for the next 2 sides. So we can pick any of them, but as long as we do this side and the perpendicular side, this one, we don't want to do the opposites. If we do the opposites, we could if we want, but it would make this cube solving process a little bit more difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose blue, and I'm going to choose orange. I'm going to solve these 2. And then once I solve these, we're going to come back to red and green. But I'm going to fast forward through this section, so bear with me really quick. Okay, so blue, orange, all done. Now we're going to focus on green and red. With the final 2 faces, the centerpieces to solve, red and green, we're going to be solving them at the same time, and we're going to be doing it in the same way that we did with the 4x4 cube. The algorithm that I mentioned in that video, it's very, very important in this step and for all of the others. Now, many people will tell you that you can basically fiddle with these and just kind of throw everything up and just reverse and just keep doing things over and over until you just find a way to just solve one side all red, one side all green, but there is a systematic way. It'll actually save a lot of headaches. First, and actually you don't have to do this part if you don't want to, but it will make your job easier. You have to get as much green up here as possible and as much red down here as possible. Now remember, we're doing this at the same time, so if we send something up here, we're sending something down here as well. So for example, I have this green here and I have this red here. Well, I want that to switch these 2. So I'm going to send one up, rotate around, and then send this back down. Now, suddenly, I only have 2 pieces up here and I have 2 pieces left here. In order to solve these, you're going to have to do the same thing we did with the 4x4 cube. So in the 4x4 video, I hope you recall the down, over, up, over step, where basically you bring one layer down, bring it over, then you bring another layer down, and then you bring that back over, and then you go up with the same layer, and then you go over, and then you go up, and then you go back over. It takes a little bit more focus to remember where everything is moving, and if you remember how to do this one, and you know how to do it properly, you can take any of these pieces and put them, or swap them with any of these pieces. As long as the piece on this face is in the same location on this face, if you do it, it will work. I'm going to start with the basic one that you recall from the first video, where I had something in the top corner here, and I'll put something in the top corner here, and then we will try this algorithm. So I have a green here. Okay, I want to bring this green up here. I want to bring this red over here. So let's put this green up in the corner. Okay, so now they're in the same spot relative to each other. And then we're going to do down, over, down, back over, and then up, over, up, back over. This is where it gets very important to remember where the piece actually is. So when you go down and then over, you have to follow the movement of the piece. Sometimes it goes over to this layer, sometimes it goes over to this layer. So you have to remember where it is, and that's the layer that you bring down. Okay, so if I have this one, so let's try it. So I'm going to bring this one down. Okay, so here's the piece, and then I'm going to bring it over. Over, here's the piece. So I'm going to bring this layer down. Down, and then back over. Okay, and let's say at this point you're not sure what to bring back up. Well, look here. This should be green. We have not green, not green. These are the two layers you're bringing back up. So I'm going to bring this layer back up, if you forget. Up, and then over. And then this is the other up. So I'm going to bring this one back up, and then bring it over. And now the red and the green have swapped places. That's it. The interesting thing about this algorithm is that it works even if it's not in the top corner. So let's try in another location. I have this one over here, and I have this one over here. Well, let's put them both here in the center. Okay, I'm going to put the red one over here, and I'm going to put the green one in the center as well, so they're in the same location from each other. And we're going to try down, over, up, over, up, over. Okay, so here we go. Bring this one down. Just this layer, not the whole thing. Okay, so down. Okay, so now your piece is here. Then we're going to bring it over. So your piece is here. So now we're going to bring this one down. Down. And then we're going to bring it back over. Okay, and again, if you forget which ones to bring up, here, look, this one should be green. We moved 1 and 2. So let's bring this one up and then this one up. Okay, so up, over, and then up, back over. But look at that, it's all solved. And that's it. So you can move any piece if it is identical in location. You can do the down, over, down, back over, up, back over step to move any piece anywhere. And it also works reverse. So if you had a piece over here, it would be down, over, down, back over, like that. So it could be clockwise, it could be counterclockwise. It's up to you, depending on where your piece is. Pretty cool, huh? So you've solved all of your centerpieces, and now we are left with the edges. So 1, 2, 3 pieces make up one edge, compared to 2 pieces for the 4x4 and 1 piece for the 3x3. So in order to solve this 5x5, we need to turn it into a 4x4 very quickly. How do we do that? We have to first match up 2 out of 3 possible edges. So focus on 2 and then move to the third. So first we're going to solve all of these and then add to them with 1 extra layer. So if you remember how to do that, you need to make sure that you have this color and this color matching. So let's start with blue and orange, and let's look for another blue and orange, but we're not going to find this blue and orange. We're going to find the center blue and orange. So let's look for it. I'm sure it's close by. Here's a blue and orange, but it's a corner piece, you know, kind of. It's not the centerpiece we want. So we're not going to use this one. We're going to look for one that is centered, blue and orange. Here it is. Okay, so this blue and orange will be going with this blue and orange. So if you remember from the other video, we're going to bring that around. We're going to bring it up. Okay. So as you can see, blue here, blue here. This is not what we want. This is a problem. We want to have blue on this face and orange on this face so that when we turn it, they match. So how do we do that? If you remember from the 4x4, we go up, rotate once, and then rotate again. And now you have blue here, orange here, blue here. Perfect. And if you remember again from the 4x4, we want to send this one this way. Then we want to throw it up out of the way. Then we want to throw it out of the way again so that it's sitting in the back, and then bring everything back to where it was. Okay, so we're going to turn the whole piece. So we have 1, 2, 3 layers. We're going to turn those one time. Okay, then we're going to send this layer upwards so it's out of the way of this side. And then it's got to be out of the way here. So we're going to rotate the top layer this way. So now blue and orange ends up in the back. Then we bring this down and we bring that back, and everything is as it was, but we've just solved blue and orange. Okay, so let's do that one more time. Let's do blue and red. We need a center blue and red. Center blue and red. Here's center blue and red. I'm going to bring center blue and red to meet this one. So we're luckily red and blue, right? So blue on this side, red on this side. Perfect. So we're going to, remember, rotate once, then throw it back up, then send it to the back, then reverse the other 2 steps, and blue and red is solved. Just to keep things moving, I'm going to solve a few more, and then I'll come back to you in just a moment. Okay, just one side note. If you have 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2, and then you want to do the algorithm as normal, and you want to send these up, but then you have all of these pieces up here, and all of them are facing the same way. If you want to reverse these two so that you can have 1 and 2, and then one color, if you want to flip that so you have 1 and 2, same color, and opposite color, all you need to do is the same algorithm for flipping these two pieces. So down, rotate back up, so it's here, and then you rotate it again. And then suddenly they've reversed position. Okay? Just to keep that in mind. Basically, I've solved 2 pieces on every edge. Okay, sometimes more than 2. Those are all good here. And all we have now is a 4x4 cube. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we do exactly the same thing as we did with the 4x4, we're good. So basically the 5x5's edge is solved the same way as the 4x4, just with one extra step. We're going to do the same thing we were doing before, but basically we're going to treat a cube like this, like 2 edges like this, we're going to treat them as one piece, and we're going to link it to one more piece up here. You know, for example, let's look for blue and yellow. The blue and yellow piece is maybe here. Yeah, blue and yellow. Okay, so if I bring the blue and yellow, so blue and yellow is down here. So we have 2 blues, 1 yellow. You can see this is a problem. This is just like the problem when we have 2 of the same color. All it takes is just going up, rotate once, and then bringing it back up, and now it behaves just like a 4x4 cube. See? So we just have to bring this one over here. So let's try that. We're going to rotate once, throw it up. Can't do this one. We can use this one. Then we bring it back down, and see how this won't be messed up. So one back, and now you're good. Look, you solved this one, and you've solved blue and yellow. Okay, so let's do that with a few more. Let's try red and green. Red and green will be maybe here. Yeah, I think red and green. So red and green, I bring them together. They don't match. Up once, rotate, and then top rotate. And now you have everything fixed. So you want to make sure that in the top layer, when you're moving things around, you have a piece where 2 of them are together, and this one will be like this one. So if I do this, see how they match? So that when I'm rotating everything, I won't mess anything up. Okay? If you have, for example, something like this, if you bring this one down over here, it's going to cut it. So you don't want to have that. Okay? So the way to avoid that, make sure you have 1, 2 here, 1 here, 1, 2, same color, different color here. So let's look for that. Don't have it here, different colors, but I have this one here, so that's great. Okay? So I can use this one to bring down. Let's say, for example, I didn't have this one, all of them were the same. All I need to do is, if I'm holding the cube like this, I can reverse these 2, so I can have these 2 over here and this one over here. I can do that by rotating the back face once, then rotating the left face back up, and then rotating it back. Okay, now everything's back to normal. So, see, I switched these 2 pieces, and now I have another piece if I want. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's going to be important for this stage of the cube. So let's try that again. Rotate once, throw it up, rotate around, doesn't work, rotate, doesn't work, rotate, works. Come back down, and everything's good. So as usual, I'm just going to solve most of these edges, and then I'm going to get back to you after I solve them. Here we go. Okay, I have run into a problem. As you see, I've solved all of these, but I have a similar issue as with the 4x4 cube. So you can see 1, 2, and 1 should go together, but we have 1 and 1, 2 should go together, so they should be diagonal, okay? The problem is we cannot cut a 5x5 cube in half like we do with the 4x4 because, you know, of course, it's got an extra layer, so it can be 3, it can be 2, but it can't be half. So this is an issue. And here is where the one and only new algorithm will show up for the 5x5 cube. So in order to solve this problem, we have to mess up the cube slightly. So we need to make sure that this piece is over here, and this piece is over there. Let's actually turn around the cube so that we have one piece here, 2 pieces here. So we're going to move the cube like so. Okay. So here's what we need to do. First, we need these 2 pieces to come down here. And to do that, it's just the regular pattern that we always follow. We just go up, okay, rotate once, and then turn the top, and now they're together. Okay, so this is how we start off to fix this solution. So we have 1 piece down here, 2 pieces here. So we're going to do the exact same pattern that we've been doing so far, even though it's going to mess up one of these pieces. Doesn't matter. So actually it's very important. So let's do that. We're going to send this one over here. Don't worry if it's messed up. That's supposed to be like that. Then we send it up. Then we send it to the back. Then we bring it back down. And then we reverse the process. So now we have the blue and red messed up, the yellow and red messed up, and the black and orange messed up. So we're going to leave everything like this and look for the other piece that we sent over here. So you remember we messed this one up. So we want 1 piece over here messed up, 1 piece over here messed up, and this piece messed up. Okay, so if you did everything the way I just did it, it will show up like this exactly. There will be no differences. You want to make sure that these 2 pieces go with this piece here. Okay, this piece goes with these 2 pieces here, and then the messed up pieces are far away from each other. Okay, if you do everything the same way I just did, it will happen exactly like this. I promise. There will be no differences as long as you follow those steps and turn them in the same way on your left side, not your right side. If you're doing it from the left, it will show up like this. And this is exactly the way you want it to work. Okay? So whenever we're sending pieces around, we're turning it like this, and we're sending things back, and we're using our left hand the whole time. For this algorithm, it's going to be different. We're going to be using the right side. And this is how you can tell the difference between a regular twist and this special one. So we're going to hold it like this, then we're going to turn the whole cube down like this. So now you have 2 pieces here matching here, this one matching with these 2, and then this matching with these 2. Okay, so all we did was rotate the whole thing. Okay, then we're going to take these 2 pieces and come downwards instead of upwards. Then we're going to send this one up once, because you can see this would be up. Okay, then we're going to bring these downwards. Then we're going to bring the bottom back this way, and then we're going to bring these back up where they started, and now voila, you've solved this piece, you've solved blue and red. All that's left is this strange colorful piece over here. Everything else has been solved, everything else is good except for these 2. Now if you didn't see that, if we went too fast, turn the whole cube down like this. So now you have 2 pieces here matching here, this one matching with these two, and then this matching with these two. Okay, so all we did was rotate the whole thing. Okay, then we're going to take these two pieces and come downwards instead of upwards. Then we're going to send this one up once, because you can see this would be up. Okay, then we're going to bring these downwards. Then we're going to bring the bottom back this way, and then we're going to bring these back up where they started, and now voila, you've solved this piece. You've solved blue and red. All that's left is this strange colorful piece over here. When we have the cube like this, rotate it downwards like this. Twist, 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 back up. Okay? And then you'll be left with this. Okay, so we have these colors flipped around, and they, these two should be flipped. This one is exactly where it belongs. This is the 5x5 parity. If you solve the cube just like we solved it in this video, you will not encounter any other kind of parity, to the best of my knowledge. If it happens to you, leave a mention in the comments. So what you need to do is find a way to flip these two, and again, if you know the 4x4 and the parity problems here, the edge parity here, you will be able to solve the 5x5's edge parity. And if you're looking at just 1 and 2, well, if you're on the 4x4, you have to just solve just 1 and 2. So we have the same problem here and one extra layer. So this layer is fine, but the even layers are the problems. So let's solve the even layers and then move on. In order to do this, we're going to use T shapes. So if we move this one, we have to make a T by moving this one. Okay? And if we move this one, we have to make another T by moving this one. Okay? So this one will move, and then this one will move every time. And then this one will move, and then this one will move every time. Okay? So if you ever move this one, it's always going to be twice. And if you ever move this one, it's going to be twice. So here's what we're going to do. Down once, top twice, down once, front twice. And then this one back up once, and then this one twice, and then this one down twice, and of course the top twice. Then you move this one back up twice, then you move this one back down, and then this one twice. That's one long step. That's like the major step of this whole process. Let's take it from the top. Here we go. This one, down once. Okay. And then, because we moved it down once, this goes twice. Then, this one, down once. Okay. And of course, the front will move 2 times. 1, 2. Okay. Then, this one goes back up 1 time. And then we move the front twice again. And now we're done with this. Now we're going to focus here. Okay. Now we're going to move this one down 2 times. 1, 2. Okay. Then we're going to move this one twice. 1, 2. Okay. Then we move this one back up 1 time. Then rotate 1, 2. And then move it back down 1 time. And then 1, 2. Okay. Those were the major steps. it's not done yet, but those are the major steps. Now, if you look, there's a problem in this layer, there's a problem in this layer, and there's a problem in this layer, okay? But there's no problem here. So what we want to do is we want to make sure all of the problems are over in this layer. So this stuff has to go. So let's rotate the front so that everything in these two layers are clean, okay? And the mess is all in the one strip, okay? So here's blue. Blue's got to go back here. So let's turn this whole thing twice, okay? 1, 2. And now your edges are all solved. Parity gone. And that's it. That's the most complicated part of this entire cube. Everything from here on out is easy breezy, lemon squeezy. We have the centerpieces done. We have the edges done. That means we have to do the corners, okay? And the corners are solved just like you solve the 4x4. But how do you solve the 4x4 corners? Well, you solve the 3x3 corners. So we have to go all the way back to our knowledge on the 3x3 and solve this thing just like a 3x3. So I'm just going to speed through that part because I'm sure you know it. If you don't know how to solve a 3x3 cube, you can check out some of my videos on my channel, and they tell you how exactly you need to do the 3x3 cube. But anyways, let me just speed right through this and I will be right back. And there you go. One V cube solved, 5x5. And the only error that we had, or the only problem that we had, was the one parity issue. Beyond that, there is nothing else to know about the 5x5 cube. As long as you know how to do the 4x4 and the 3x3, you can do the 5x5 no problem. Just remember that one extra algorithm to bring these three edge pieces together into one proper piece. Other than that, no sweat. So I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions, comments, please drop some comments down in the comment section, and subscribe for more videos. I'm gonna do 6x6 next, so stay tuned, and I really hope you enjoy watching. Thanks guys, take care, bye-bye.